All right, welcome back to another episode of 5th and 6th grade aiming high. I chose to sit outside today because it's beautiful out, so why be inside? This is the good side of technology, isn't it? Even though we're at home, we can do our homework, tune into our classes wherever we want. Love it. So today I'm going to be covering stress. Okay, so it's accepted that adults have stress, right? We all know that. What about your age? Do you feel like you have stress in 5th and 6th grade? And if you do, what does it look like? Is it in the form of homework? Is it in the form of teachers, social media, kids that you have to come in contact with at school that you don't want to, parents, siblings, divorced parents? Okay, it can present itself in all kinds of ways, and different things stress different people out. Okay, drop me a comment and let me know what stress looks like to you. What stresses you out? Let me know. There's good news and bad news about stress. Okay, I'm going to give you the bad news first so that we can end on a good note. The bad news is that stress is here to stay. It will always be present in our lives. Okay, the good news is we can learn how to cope with it. Now, rumor has it that for you, for 5th and 6th graders, what causes the most stress for you is studying and test taking. Let me know in the comments if that's correct or if I'm way off. Okay? Let me know. I'm interested. I'm going to give you a few pointers on how to handle studying and test taking. So we're going to start with studying techniques. Okay, so number one would be assemble all materials that you need in front of you. All right, so whether that be like you need your highlighters, got those. Whether you need your book, get that. Have your notebooks near you. You need a calculator, get it in front of you for that subject that you are working on. That way you won't have to get up in the middle, be interrupted to go and find something. Okay, you have everything you need at your disposal right in front of you. Let's see. Oh, note cards. Let me say a word about note cards, okay, when we are studying. Note cards are amazing, okay? You can take them with you anywhere you go. That's the first good thing about them. Say mom and dad make you go to the grocery store. Take your note cards if you need to study for a test. You can look over your note cards while they're grocery shopping. The second thing that makes them amazing is that you can test yourself. You don't need anyone to help you. You write a definition on one side, you write the word on the other. Okay, so for instance, let's read that out for us because this is something that we're going through right now. Okay, so that's our definition. We're going to turn it over, but before we look at it, we're going to ask ourselves, what's the word we're looking for? Okay, and the word we're looking for is, all right, so that's how we use note cards. They are perfect, and they are also a memorization aid. The more you read the note cards, the more you're memorizing, and soon you will learn all of them, and you're prepared for your test. Hear all this noise going on around me. The second thing about studying techniques is eliminate distractions. If you're in your bedroom, close the door. Put your phone in another room so that you won't be tempted to answer texts or answer your phone. Turn the TV off, okay, so you don't have that distraction. Number 3 is concentrate on one subject at a time. Don't put all your books in front of you and try to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Try to get them all done. That's not going to work. One subject at a time, okay? And number 4 is make notes of the most important facts. So take a full sheet of notebook paper and whatever subject that you're covering that you need to study for, write down the most important facts about what you're trying to learn and to memorize. This really helped me when I was in school. I would write out a full page, and even when the test came and the questions came, I could also visualize where I had written that information on my paper. So that helped me visualize, oh yeah, this subject was in the top right corner of my paper. I remember writing it, and then I could visualize everything I wrote, and it really helped me to study and memorize. All right, so let's move on to test taking techniques. Okay, so number one, you want to plan ahead. How much time are you going to need to study for this specific subject? And don't forget to factor in any other homework that you have to finish as well. So you might need 1 hour to study, you might need another hour to finish homework for another subject. Number two, get a normal night's sleep. How many hours of sleep do we need a night? 2? 7? 10? Correct number is 8. We need 8 hours of sleep. That is a full night's sleep. If you're not getting 8 hours of sleep before a test, you're going to be tired. Don't be cramming 3 chapters into one night and staying up late. You're not going to get a good grade on that test, okay? Tiredness makes you unable to concentrate. It's a known fact. You don't want to be tired for a test. Number 3, make sure you eat. A lot of people don't like to eat because when they're really stressed out, they feel like they don't have an appetite. Even if it's just a granola bar, a couple crackers, and a drink, get something in your stomach, okay? Because not eating can also make you tired, can also make you unable to concentrate, okay? Number 4, do not discuss material with other students. This also used to happen to me. I would study and study, and I would think that I knew the information. I would be very confident that I knew the information. And then I would talk to a friend, and the friend would be like, I think that this means this, and then I'd be like, no, that's not what I studied, and then I'd start second guessing myself. So don't discuss anything you've studied. Just go in, take the test, keep to yourself. That'll help you. All right, number 5, deep relaxing breaths. How many of you feel when that teacher lays that test on your desk, or you open your computer to take a test? How many of you get real nervous? Your heart starts beating really fast. You feel like you can't breathe. Okay, so we want to take deep relaxing breaths. In and out, okay? This will get oxygen pumping through your brain, and it will help you calm down, okay? Skip difficult questions. This is number 6 and our last point. Skip difficult questions. If you come across a question on a test that's taking you a really long time to get through and to remember the answer, circle that question. Go through and do the easier ones, and come back to that difficult question towards the end. Okay, but don't forget to circle it. Otherwise, you'll forget to answer it. All right, so since we've gone over these things that can help lessen our stress, let's talk about what's going on right now in our society. Okay, let's talk about the coronavirus. Does it stress you out? And if it does, what are some things you can do to lessen that stress? I mentioned in my last lesson that journaling was a really great idea. If we don't feel like sharing our feelings with another person and we just get them written down on paper, that really helps. It's almost like we have discussed it with someone else just because we've put those thoughts on paper, and it can help bring a feeling of calmness and make you feel better. That's one way to take care of stress. Another way would be to communicate. Now, a lot of you who I did manage to see throughout this past year and whose classrooms I did get to visit, we talked about communication in one of our lessons, and how if you communicate with other people and you let your feelings out, it almost feels as if a weight has been lifted off of your shoulders, because you've gotten to voice your feelings, and you've had the experience of someone listening to those feelings. So you feel validated, like somebody is actually listening to you and they care about what you're going through. And then they can also share with you ideas on how to deal with that stress. They can possibly come up with ideas that you've never thought of, and you can start to feel better because you have that conversation going. Okay, that's a great way to alleviate stress. Another thing you're going to want to do during this time is don't watch the news so much. Okay, there's differing information everywhere, and there's also false information everywhere. So we don't want to be watching the news constantly, and we don't want to be surfing the web for information on the coronavirus constantly. That's going to just stress us out, because we're going to read so much information, and sometimes we don't even know if it's true. So I would recommend that you only tune into the news, or maybe do some research on the internet about corona maybe once a week. Okay? And if you think about it, your parents or other relatives or other friends that you know, if they hear anything that is really pressing or any really important information that they think other people need to know about, you're going to hear about it. Okay, so even if you don't catch the news, the most important pieces are going to come through from people that we know, maybe our relatives, our friends, our neighbors, getting outside. You see a lot more people out walking these days. There's discussion going on, so you don't necessarily need to tune into the news all the time. Okay, so that concludes our lesson on stress and how to lessen it. If you have any questions, or if you feel like any of the information I told you about wasn't what you were thinking, or you have any ideas that you want to let me know about, please leave some comments after this video. And I will also post studying techniques and test taking techniques. I'm going to post those pages for you to look at, just so you don't forget them. You can have them if you want to read over them. They will really help you, even while we're at home. They'll help you for studying and test taking. All right, until next week, everyone stay healthy, stay happy, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.